friends and new friends, soon to be friends, beings of the internet. Welcome to another tarot reading, another Rumination Tarot, Tarot Rumination. I was thinking tonight it would be really nice to do a reading with like messages of encouragement. A lot of times tarot can be really challenging, especially the way I read it. I feel like it's always like, you need to do this, this is what you should do. I mean, it's advice, but sometimes you just kind of want encouragement and to hear sweet things. So I decided that I would do a tarot spread based on the Major Arcana card, the Sun. I found it on labyrinthos.com. They have a lot of cool tarot spreads if you're interested in that kind of thing. So I'm gonna hopefully pass on some nice messages of warmth and hope and light. To pick which reading you'd like to watch, if you'd like to pick a reading instead of watch them all, I have put cards of the Sun from different tarot decks. I'm gonna read all of the messages with the Star Spinner Tarot, but for this purpose I brought out different cards. So here is the Aquarian Tarot Sun. Pretty happy guy. Second, we have the Strange Daisy Tarot. This deck is by a really cool artist named Alese Osborn. She's also a really great tarot reader. I suggest checking out her Instagram. I'll put that information in my bio or description. And yeah, super cool art. And then the third one is from the Cosmic Slumber. What a little cutie. Yeah, cool. So I will see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. This one is definitely very interesting. So let's get in it. The first card is called Abundance, and it represents what is flourishing in your life right now, what's thriving, what is, worth celebrating in your life. And you got the Two of Chalices, Two of Cups in traditional tarot, and it's very, very lovey in this deck. So I would say you either have a very loving partner or a very harmonized duality within yourself. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but it could be that there's two very opposing traits within yourself that are just harmonized really well, because it's definitely all about balance. And this one is definitely leaning into the basically being like a minor arcana lovers, which makes me think it the other meaning of the Lovers is about making decisions, but about two of anything becoming one. So there's something that is blending really nicely in your life, and it's worth celebrating. And it could be that you are about to get together with somebody. Yeah. And it's interesting because this is like the sun reading, but the background kind of looks like the moon. It's cool. Yeah, that's really sweet. And then for your sunlight card, this is where can you go to find even more happiness and joy in your life, and that is the Page of Coins, which Page is anybody who has a new interest, wants to take up a new endeavor, and coins are all about, getting that coin or anything, anything material or about the physical world. This deck, with this card, it talks about, going after a new career opportunity or starting a creative venture, which I usually think of that as like a wands kind of statement. But for this deck, they say that the coins talk about that. So it could be that if you're feeling pulled to starting something new right now, something that could assist your financial abundance or material wealth, to go after that, to lean into it, because that'll be really successful. Also, I'm really looking at the way that she's just like staring at the coin and kind of playing with it. It's a little obsessive. And I'm definitely of the mind that I don't think that being so focused on those material things is ever really going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness. It'll definitely bring you comfort, but which opens up your ability to be happy. But don't place your happiness on those actual material physical things. Maybe just what emotions they do inspire. Alright, and so the one that I love is that the Tower showed up in this reading. I mean, some people hate this card, I love it, but it shows up as your inner light. So this is like the thing within you that you love about yourself. Where do you usually experience it, and how is it presented? And you got the Tower, which is the one that's all about destruction and things falling apart. Which, I don't know, I right now I think of this as the abolition card, which I think there's a lot of things that need to be done away with right now. But anyways, so in respects to this being your inner light, I think it's saying that you either appreciate, or I'm encouraging you to appreciate, your ability to let go of things that aren't good for you anymore, especially if there's something that's been building up over a long period of time. I was reading about this card, and it was talking about how if the Tower is reversed, oh wow, I'm losing it, but something about how you're holding on to it. It's not that the thing that is causing you trouble is being, so the Tower has to come down, or else it could really do internal damage to you, is what I think of. It's usually a deep rooted thought that can hurt you, that you're finally getting away from, or just any kind of really established situation that it's really uncomfortable and could be really heartbreaking to leave, but the reward on the other side is that you might get to experience the sun. You'll go from the Tower to the Star, which is renewing your hope, and then you experience the moon once you've healed a little bit and you face the parts of yourself that maybe you are uncomfortable to face, the shadow sides and just subconscious realm. And then once you've experienced all of that, then you can appreciate the simplicity and the joy that is the sun and small things like the sunlight. But yeah, right now this is telling you that your inner light comes from your ability to just know when to walk away. And when, even if a lot of time or anything has been invested, that you know when it's not serving you anymore. And so for your outer radiance, this is the friendly companion, what can aid you in finding your clarity. And you got the Four of Swords. So this is all about rest. So because maybe because of like your inner light being represented by this chaotic tower energy, the thing that can help you grow from this point is to let yourself rest. And to really just recuperate. The word recuperate always feels so important with this card. Sometimes it looks like a person who is just left battle. It's usually like a suited up knight. And it's like, okay, maybe I didn't win that battle. I've really got to refresh my energy before I go out there and start doing more fighting. So that could be something that is really important for you to do right now. Or just to remember to do it continually. Like, rest is not a one-time thing, or like just because you got a lot of sleep last night doesn't mean you can't get a decent amount of sleep tonight if you're able. Or even just like taking time off and in any way that you can. I mean, she is knocked out. I'm looking at the way the roses are. It's almost like they're coming out of her brain. Alright, and then so cloudiness. This is about what you could clear out of your life. And what stands in the way of you being able to appreciate the good things in your life. And you got the Fool. So in this instance, this would say that maybe you struggle with recklessness, because the Fool is really good at jumping into new situations and like taking a leap of faith. But because this is something that is maybe keeping you from like feeling all the joy that you deserve to feel right now, it could be that you get really reckless and then you feel bad about it. And maybe that's why all these tower moments are necessary. So this is saying maybe take a little time, learn a little bit more before you act. Learn a little bit more. I guess gather information. Yeah, because the Fool's like, it can be infinity or it can be all about ignorance. And so this may be about not really getting all the information you need before you act on things. And maybe that comes with the rest. If you rest, then you won't feel this like need to just jump into something that isn't necessary for you. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I need to add to that, just from looking at everything all together. No, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and yeah, you'll join me again sometime. Thank you. Have a good night. Welcome, group number 2, to your sun reading. This is for if you chose the Strange Daisy Tarot Sun. I love this one so much. I just like, this gives me total like Grecian statue vibes, and I'm here for it. Oh, also there's the Leo sign. Okay, but anyways, so I knew when I decided to do this reading, I'm like, I'm gonna do a really lighthearted one. I knew that like all of the dark cards were gonna come out, but it's good because it shows you that there's two sides to every coin. Yeah, so let's get into it and I'll show you what I mean. So for abundance, this is not a dark card, this is a great card. This is the Magician. This is your abundance, what is already flourishing in your life right now. Where are you thriving, what deserves to be celebrated. And again, this is the Magician. So that tells me that you are like owning your power, because I mean the Magician is very action oriented. It's like the first card in the major arcana. It's like when you first realize I can do a thing and you just start doing. I think of it as like the alchemist of you can't make something out of nothing necessarily, though I do kind of think of him like pulling something out of thin air, but like the alchemist always makes me think of Full Metal Alchemist and like the whole theory of alchemy where like you need something of equal parts to change anything. But you're able to do that. You're able to see what resources you have around you and turn them into whatever you need at the moment. And also just like, so the Magician always has all of the elements of the minor arcana. He has a sword, he has a pentacle or coin, he has a chalice or cup, and he has a wand or rod. So he's learning how to incorporate all of the elements. So you're able to see all of the resources around you, and or maybe this is like even telling you celebrate that there are resources around you. It's like it may not feel like it, but there's something around you that you can use to make something that you want to happen. A lot of people associate the Magician with manifesting too. So if there's like, you have your sights on some kind of goal and you're trying to welcome it into your life and welcome advice for how to make your goals happen, you're in a good place to be doing that. So then we also have for your sunlight, where you can go to find even more happiness and joy in your life. This is the Ace of Coins, and that tells me it's really similar to the card that was in the same position for the last pile. I'm just thinking about how this is like money or material opportunity just like appearing out of thin air and something being offered to you. And aces are all about opportunity. So maybe there is an opportunity around you or about to be presented to you that could really flourish into something that provides you with material abundance, financial abundance, and comfort. Or places where you've found that material wealth was being offered to you in the past. Maybe that's where you can go to find even more of that. Also really drawn to this little like doorway. It's almost like you're like a little secret garden. This is some kind of source that is only being presented to you. So I know that in this deck it's called Coins and it's very focused on money, but I really think also this is a suit about nature, because that is a material, physical substance. So this could be telling you to go out in nature more. If you have a garden, go spend time in your garden, or get out of your little walled-in space and go find some adventure out there. And I always think that's a great way to find some joy. There's even a mountain there. You could go visit a mountain, or just get around any kind of trees. Especially like this green color. Definitely gives me that vibe. So this is the second reading, and both of them have put like the traumatic cards and what is your inner light. What is the thing about yourself that you love? Where does it come from, and how is it presented to you usually? And you got the Nine of Swords. But I mean, this makes sense to me. So the Nine of Swords is like ultimate anxiety, inability to sleep because you're so worried about things. And like this person is literally just being like haunted by their demons, or like, so that kind of thing. So what could that mean having to do with inner light? I think that this is saying that your inner light comes from having faced these things in the past. If you have been challenged with anxiety or whatever kind of thing that keeps you up at night, you've obviously overcome it to some degree because you're here right now. Even if it's not like in your past, you still haven't let it entirely get the best of you. And so your light comes from having survived. And like every day that you're not brought down, you win. I feel like more too, like, I think people who have experienced really extreme dark have a deeper appreciation for what it feels like to be happy and comfortable. Not that you can't enjoy goodness if you haven't been challenged, but I mean, you really need that juxtaposition to really appreciate things. And they also say that some of the people who have been through the most difficult shit are the nicest people because they know what it's like to be down, or down on your luck, to be going through it. And so they know how important just like the littlest bit of kindness can do for you, like how far that can go. And so that tells me that your perseverance through struggles has given you a really beautiful inner light. And even like, look, these stars on the bed, like I always think of the stars as being like totally about hope and sweetness. And so even though like they're struggling, they're still covered. There's still like hope within reach. And also, like, if this is something that has happened multiple times, you've struggled over and over again, then you've also experienced like getting to the other side of the pain every time. And yeah, I think it gives you a total appreciation and gratefulness for any kind of light. And then I think this devil card's face is so inappropriate. It makes me so uncomfortable. But this is outer radiance. So this is a friendly companion, or what can aid you in finding clarity right now. And you got the devil, of course. That totally, why not? So the devil is all about contracts. There's usually like two people being bound to the devil in some way. I always think of the devil as like he's always, like, you make a deal with the devil. He's always, challenging people to fiddle fights, fiddle offs, I don't know. He's always challenging people to shit so that he can take their soul or not. Also, the devil is, I was just reading a book about like the major arcana, and the part about the devil is talking about usually he shows up when your focus is too much on material things and you've forgot like the other side of things. It's also about like addictions and like temptation, obviously. So this is either telling me that like you need to give in to temptation a little bit, like you need to experience the devil a little more, or just face like those demons, that devil, and like whenever you feel your temptations rising up, like question them and be like, where is this coming from? Why is it here? What makes me, like, what do I think I'm gonna gain from going after this? Is it really gonna help me? Is it gonna make me feel better? Or do I just want some kind of like immediate fix right now? And if I do that, is it really gonna help me anywhere down the line, further down the line? Which seems a little bit more likely, but you know, some of us do need to like give in a little more too. So you know yourself better than I do, because I don't even know who's watching. Yeah, so either ask yourself if you're too focused on everything you can like touch, anything that's real, things that like needing to see to believe, whatever it is, like is there some of other part of your life that is lacking because you're so focused on that? And really question why, again, why your temptations are coming up, what is at the root of those like desires. Or, you know, if you know that you don't have enough fun, give in to the devil every now and then. I'm gonna try and look at this a little longer and see if it's telling me by the specific illustration, other than just like that horrible face. I don't know why I dislike it so much. Also, I'm looking at how like bound up the other figures are. So if this is about finding clarity, think about like what things you're being bound by. Like what ties you up. Again, that like could be anything that you feel like you're in some kind of contract with, or even just like from an addiction sense, like there's something in you that thinks I need this every so often or whatever. Just kind of sink into facing that a little bit if you want clarity, if you're able to do it, because you may be in this state and you just want to hear something sweet. Which is what this is supposed to be. But then yeah, again, heartbreak card. So this is the thing that needs to be let go of, pretty much. What's standing in the way of you being able to appreciate all the good things that are happening in your life? What needs to be cleared? And so yeah, the Three of Swords is all about extreme heartbreak and pain. Though I will say, this is probably the cutest depiction I've ever seen of it. It looks like a little like video game heart. And it's just, I don't know why I keep thinking it's Zelda, but it's like little Zelda swords going into it. No big deal. You've got 2 more lives. So yeah, I mean, obviously you're hanging on to some kind of pain that's already happened. It's probably not in your immediate present, because this is telling you it's time to let go of it. So if it were showing up in a different way, I would say, okay, like you're still healing, and obviously you may be healing from it for a long time, but this is showing up saying, okay, like it's time to really let go of that. Like maybe you've let it dictate too much space in your head and your heart, and it's time to like, okay, move on. Let's get these swords out of this heart. or let's leave them there and figure out a way around. You know, like, they're there. What can I do about it? I'm just looking to see if they're, how it looks in the different light. Again, there's some stars below here. So this is saying that, like, they may be a little bit out of sight or out of reach. But again, that hope is still there. But yeah, it's time to let go. Time to let go, maybe have a little fun. And remember what power you have. Don't let all of this other stuff take your power from you, because you're in a really powerful space right now. You can really make things happen. And the sun is encouraging you to do so. Yeah, so thank you for checking out this reading. Talk to me in the comments if you'd like. And hopefully I'll see you in another video. Good night, good day. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your Sun Tarot reading. This is for you if you picked the Cosmic Slumber card. It's so cute. Giving the little sun a hug. Embrace the warmth. So, I'm in some kind of mood tonight. Yeah, let's get into it. So this is the card representing your abundance. What is flourishing in your life right now? What is thriving? Where in your life is there abundance and celebration? And you got the Ace of Wands. So that tells me that you are very inspired right now. There is some like new idea or endeavor that that you're excited about, or you're about to experience this. It's gonna come out of thin air. The like hand reaching out of the clouds with like, boom, here's your wand, now go make magic. Yeah, I feel like maybe your mind is just shooting off in all directions. If you are an artist, you're coming up with ideas faster than you can create them. Trying to think if it's giving me any other feelings. Maybe you have a renewed sense of faith if you are religious, because wands are also about spirituality. But something is new and exciting, and it's worth celebrating. That's where your abundance can be found right now. Where can you go to find even more happiness, joy in your life? And you got the 3 of Chalices for that, so that tells me your friends, your friends, like maybe your close-knit circle is, it's time for you to be around them, experience them in any way you can. If you can't be around people right now, call them, message them, send them silly memes. And either like this giving communication to them will give you joy, or the receiving part will give you joy, or both. It's, you know, they go hand in hand. But yeah, this is telling me to like lean into your friends. And trying to think of the mermaids. Maybe go to the pool if you've got that option. Go swim, go to the ocean. But there is like this really cool feeling of levitation. That's not exactly the word I want to use, but like suspension. Like they're suspended in air, and like their hair is everywhere. It feels like, so if you can't physically be around your friend, experience them as much as you can from afar, and you'll feel that closeness. Yeah, so turn to your friends to experience more happiness and joy in your life right now. They are your sunlight. Where does your inner light come from? How does it present itself usually? What is something you love about yourself, or that I am encouraging you to love about yourself? And that is the Queen of Wands. So this is your ability to make something out of your inspirations, to move on them and like really establish them into something. And this also is really reminiscent of the Strength card, because the Strength card is usually a woman like taming a tiger, or not a tiger, a lion. That's definitely a lion. But this one, she's like completely, they buddy. She's very close with her strength. And again, like the same kind of message with strength, it's not always about being strong by using brute force. Sometimes strength is, what's the word? It's not resistance. Sometimes it's about like, in what way do you restraint, like how do you hold yourself back? Sometimes it's about not acting even if you want to. Yeah, I love these sunflowers too. So your inner light probably feels like this to people. It probably feels like sunflowers and a little bit of like magic. She's an elven queen. An elven fairy queen, because she got wings too. And the Queen of Wands, I know that like a lot of people say there's just a lot of beauty surrounding them usually. It could be that you're very like physically beautiful, or I mean, I think everyone's physically beautiful to some degree. But yeah, like you, since this is being representative of your inner light, like your beauty is undeniable. And it comes from within you. Trying to think. That's all I'm getting right now. So, within your outer radiance, this is a friendly companion that can aid you in finding clarity right now, and this is the Fool. So, in this situation, one of the other piles got the Fool, and it was like basically, don't be the fool. Here, the Fool's difficult because it's like the ending and the beginning. So at the beginning, it is the Fool. It hasn't experienced anything. If it comes at the end of the deck, that means that you've achieved so much knowing that you can kind of so much like knowledge, enlightenment, information that like you've become the Fool once again. The only person that thinks they know everything is the person that hardly knows anything. Where can you find your clarity? So I'm also like really drawn into how he's looking at this flower, or how they are looking at this flower. They're completely allowing themselves to be absorbed in that. And it's like they've seen that flower for the first time. So maybe like even just imagine looking at things like you've never experienced anything before. I know that's kind of hard to do, but do you ever just like go outside and you're like, oh my god, leaves are the coolest thing I've ever seen. Have leaves always been like this? Or I don't know, like I'm always very aware of like when the sun feels like it's in a different place than you've gotten used to it being in. Like if it's coming from over here rather than there, like in the fall it's especially really noticeable, and you're like, wow, has light always been like this? Has it always hit things this way? So whenever you're experiencing something like that, just like lean into it and allow yourself to feel like you're experiencing things for the first time. And yeah, so the Fool, if I like had to think of one like phrase or whatever to sum it up, I would say like leap of faith. Just going into something, even if you know nothing about it. And if it comes up as a warning, it's like saying don't do that, don't be reckless. But I think this is encouraging you to do that more. Jump into things. Sometimes we push ourselves so hard that it's really important to just stop doing things and let yourself rest and recuperate. This might be telling me that you are doing that or have been doing that for a long time, and it's time to just start acting. Just do stuff. Throw things at the wall and see what sticks. That's definitely been my advice lately, and I'm trying to do it. It's going well so far. So I encourage, yeah, I definitely recommend it. So the Fool is your friendly companion. Let yourself be put in situations that you feel like you know nothing about. Find the people that know very little that are around you and see how they look at things or what their perspective is. See how they seem to be experiencing life, at least as far as you can perceive, or ask them about it. Maybe there's something you can learn from that that'll give you that clarity. The Fool's one of those cards I feel like I could talk about for hours if I really wanted to. I mean, look at those shoes. Those shoes are so cool. Give me those in every color. Okay, and then so the last thing is your cloudiness. What needs to be cleared away? What is standing in the way of you being able to appreciate all the good things that are surrounding you right now? And that is being represented by the Queen of Swords. I was thinking it looks like she's sticking her tongue out, but that is totally a flower petal. So when I see the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords, I always think of people who have words that bite, who have sharp tongues. Maybe saying things a little coldly. So this is telling me, maybe stop talking to yourself that way. Maybe stop talking to other people that way. There is, maybe there is a certain bluntness and hardness that you've acquired that is not helpful to you right now, and it's not going to help you feel joy to the extent that you could be and should be. I mean, I think the Queen of Swords is a really cool energy and kind of card too, but just because of this showing up as a thing that's standing in your way, it makes me think that you've like built a wall up with your built up a wall around yourself, but just yeah, I mean, I'm completely my brain just went kaboot. Like having to don a hardness, who says that? Having to like put on a hardness, and because this is showing up as something that needs to go away, it's telling me it's not genuine. It's like it's just become a crutch or a protective measure, and it's not really protecting you. It's just protecting you from getting to experience the things you deserve to experience right now. So, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you for hanging out with me and letting me bend your ear. I hope you'll join me for another video, and have a good night, good day, good eternity. Alright, bye.